Hey guys, Technomentary with a video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to be comparing the iPhone SE 2020 edition with the iPhone 6 here in a head-to-head comparison. We're going to take a look at the hardware, the software, overall performance and build, and what you can expect of both of these two phones in 2021. Everything you need to know, whether you're buying either one or upgrading from the iPhone 6 to the iPhone SE. We're going to break all of that down and give you guys a comparison to really be well informed about both of these two phones. But before we go ahead and get started, if you guys are new to our channel, we do a lot of tech news, reviews, and giveaways, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, if you guys are in the market for one of the newer iPhones like the iPhone SE or the iPhone 11, 12 lineup that are right now the latest and greatest of the iPhone lineup, make sure you guys check out the link in the description section for discounted iPhones that you don't have to pay retail price for it. So let's go ahead and get started with today's video review. Between these two phones, a lot has changed because of the difference in terms of their age. The iPhone 6 year was released in 2014, so in 2021 it's almost close to 6-7 years since the iPhone 6 was released, versus the iPhone SE, which was released in April of 2020. So it's been a year since the iPhone SE has been released compared to the iPhone 6. So a lot has changed because of that difference. And first of all, let's start with the body of both of these two phones. You'll notice between these two phones, they have slight similarities and a lot of difference in terms of the body build here. Of course, if you look at side by side, they weight and size difference is about the same, but you'll notice that between these two phones, one thing you notice is the camera. The iPhone SE here does look like it has a bigger camera built to it. Of course, the Apple logo has been shifted down more towards the middle of it, and all this extra stuff that Apple used to write on the iPhone 6 and older phones are gone now to just have the word iPhone or product red, which is a special edition of the iPhone SE here we have. Between these two builds is that the iPhone SE here has this aerospace grade aluminum body to it, more durable, versus the iPhone 6 here, which just has that aluminum body to it. And you'll notice between these two phones side by side, they're about the same in a lot of ways. And the iPhone SE here just feels like it's more durable in terms of the build of the iPhone SE, which is lighter. Because of front and the back being both glass on the iPhone SE, it allows you to do wireless charging, which the iPhone 6 does not have capable of. Along with wireless charging is the water resistivity of both of these phones. Unfortunately, the iPhone 6 here is not water resistant, so if it takes for a dive, this phone will be dead and broken instantly. With the iPhone SE here, you can take it for a dive, no issues, and it will pretty much be water resistant up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. So you can take this phone for a dive. But one thing we do want to mention is that because the front and back being both glass, is that if you have a crack or any sort of compromise of the phone, they're not going to be water resistant anymore and you can damage your phone. Let's talk about the chipset between these two phones. A lot has changed because of the years. The iPhone 6 here, released in 2014, has the A8 chip here, versus the iPhone SE here, A13 chip, which is 5th generation difference of it, and it also has 3rd generation of neural engine. So when Apple released the iPhone SE, it claimed to have the fastest chip on any smart device across the board in the world, and we see that because it is a power pack phone. It may look like very similar to the iPhone 6, but it does bring in a lot of power to it. And let's talk about the display between these two phones. You'll notice both of the phones does have a 4.7 LCD IPS technology on display of both of them. A lot of similarities in terms of just the contrast ratio, the pixel resolution you get. And the one thing that's different between these two phones we want to mention is True Tone. True Tone, which is introduced on the iPhone 8 lineup and higher, allows the phone to automatically adjust the display to the ambient lighting condition to make the color feel more natural. And that's something we'll notice, is it just makes it more feel natural in different settings, like a setting with more light versus less light. The iPhone SE here does do that, where the iPhone 6 unfortunately does not have that capacity. And talking about the brightness of these two phones is that the iPhone 6 has a 500 nit brightness that you can get, versus the iPhone SE, which you're able to get up to 625, so almost 125 more brighter nit in terms of the nit comparison between these two phones. Talk about the nit and such, we're going to talk about the camera between these two phones. A lot has changed, of course, in the camera. As you know, Apple is known to switch it up in the camera area. If we look at the camera, both of the phones does have HDR photo that you can take. But once you start looking to elevate your camera skill, is that you'll notice the iPhone SE, you can record portrait mode like you would on the newer phones with a lot of settings, from contour lighting to stage lighting into high key light mono lighting, where the iPhone 6 does not have that portrait mode. The one thing it does do have instead of the portrait mode is the square feature, which isn't available on the iPhone SE here that we have. And talking about that, the next thing we want to talk about video recording capabilities. So what kind of video recording capabilities can you get out of between these two phones? Well, that's another area where a lot has changed as well. The iPhone SE here is able to record from 720 all the way to 4K at 60 frames per second, which is pretty much similar to the newer iPhone 12 lineup, where the iPhone 6 is only able to go from 720 HD to 1040 HD at 60 frames per second. So you're really limited in terms of, if you're really looking to record at 4K, you're gonna have to go with the iPhone SE here that we have. And talking about SE, now let's talk about the battery life between these two phones. What kind of battery life can you expect between the iPhone 6 and the iPhone SE? Well, varying difference between these two phones is the battery life. So the battery life on both of these two phones are sort of similar in some ways. The iPhone 6 here gives you about 11 hours of video playback, where the iPhone SE gives you 13 hours of video playback. So 2 hours more on the iPhone SE. The iPhone 6 will probably get you through halfway through your day before it needs a charge, where the iPhone SE will get you pretty much 3/4 of the day before it needs a charge. So that's one thing we'll notice between these two phones. And of course, the next thing we're going to talk about the software between these two phones. What kind of software does both of these two phones have? So the iPhone SE here does go up to iOS 14 because this is only a generation of the iPhone 6 lineup here that we have. As you'll notice between these two phones is the software area. The iPhone 6 still gets updates and such in 2021, but it only goes up to iOS 12, so you're not able to pass iOS 12, where the iPhone SE started with iOS 13, and right now it has iOS 14 installed and ready to go on it. It will probably get another 3 to 4 years of major software update, and the iPhone SE stopped getting any more updates past 12, and it's sort of come past its end of life, and it's a phone that's probably right now just a phone to have as a backup, or if you're really a beginner, or if you're looking to use it for someone that's really new to iPhone, just want to get a feel for it, it's probably a backup phone at best. And it's also not a bad phone if you're really a starter phone that's looking to just use it for basic calling, texting, and browsing. It still gets the job done, probably better than some of the Android comparison of it, but this is an Android comparison of it. It still gives you that all those features that you get on an iPhone lineup here. And you'll notice most of the major apps still supported. Some of the new ones are starting to not be supported or be compatible on the iPhone 6, and that kind of can be annoying at times. With the iPhone SE, all your favorite apps, from your social media to entertainment to just multitasking, gaming heavy, if you're a heavy graphic game or a person that plays games a lot, the iPhone SE does do phenomenal job compared to even the newer lineup that we have. So between these two phones, why would you buy one or the other? The iPhone 6, you probably buy it because you're on a budget and you really don't have much to spend, or looking to just be a beginner, just to test it out, to see how iPhone feels, or you have it as a backup device. With the iPhone SE, if you're looking for more power, better camera, better display, all of that comes in the iPhone SE at a budget friendly price in 2021. You're not paying that $1,000 mark right now. You probably get this phone, most carriers probably have this phone at $300. If you're buying a pre-owned, you probably get it around $200 to $250. That's why you guys want to check out the link in the description section. So hopefully this video is helpful for you guys that are looking to either upgrade from the iPhone 6 to the iPhone SE or looking to do a comparison to see which one you're going to get the most out of it. We definitely recommend go with the iPhone SE because of the power and features that you get out of it. But we want to hear from you guys. Leave a comment in the comment section whether you upgraded from the one to another or currently using one of these devices. Leave a comment in the comment section. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.